Ooh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Ooh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her, and she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. No more phone me blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she a next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might become an addict. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it, now I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, and you know what's next. You been rockin' with an all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a five-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. Ooh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Ooh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her,
feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay, I've been moving dog, yeah, I'm on the way, I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say, I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait, I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits, and I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes, I just put in that work, told them it's strictly business, and I see through the face, they all just burning bridges, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog, yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off, I've been going down the list, checking numbers off, I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off, I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing, now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing, they been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying, when they send a text, dog I ain't replying, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah I got a couple, I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah I got a couple, I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me, I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear in my fam way, and I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Told him come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got is what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. On the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a special shout out to the Mafia that was in the live stream on Friday and watched the market update from Friday. I think it was Friday or Thursday. I think it was Friday. We dropped that market update, guys. Shout out to anybody who saw that because not pretty much, every single target was tapped almost to the dollar, guys. We were able to predict those moves almost perfectly. And shout out to everybody who tuned into this live stream because, guys, the TA is playing out absolutely beautifully right now. We have gotten the move up to about $64,000 as we were looking at on Friday. But now the real question is, are we going to get the pullback potentially to 58K, or can we get that move up to $70,000 and potentially beyond? That is what I want to cover in tonight's live stream, and hopefully we can get what we're looking for to play out just like we saw over the weekend. So smash that like button if you guys were in here on Friday. Shout out to you guys. Let's see. We'll come to the Mafia just in a second, but again, I do want to talk about the possibility of potentially coming up to $70,000 to $75,000, guys. What do we need to see happen in order to get that to play out? And also, what are we looking here at this key level of resistance to potentially be looking for short positions for a drop back to the downside? There is an argument for both sides today, so I'm going to be talking about both the bullish and the bearish case, and then I'll let you guys know kind of which way I'm leaning, what I would like to see play out. But yeah, in the long term, guys, there are some good things on the chart. Yo, shout out to Kevin's Awake, said 58K to the floor, baby. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Kevin's Awake. But yeah, we're going to cover everything in tonight's live stream so you guys can be better prepared on where not only you should be looking for trades, but where price action is going to go in the long term. And we also are going to take a look at some altcoins that don't look too horrible, and they look like they could be getting ready for a pump, assuming Bitcoin's not going to dump. They are looking pretty good. So I'm going to take a look at some of those as well. Shout out to Jay Walker. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. We got Kush Patel in the chat. What is up, bro? Good to see you. We got Rastar in the chat. Said, sup, Frankie? What is going on, bro? Good to see you in here. I hope you guys all had an awesome weekend. We got Wayne C in the chat. We got Nirvana J Walker. The Izzy says, Frankie Buns. Oh, hey. Whoa. It's a G-rated stream. Shout out to the Izzy. We got Nirvana in the chat. The Godfather. Show the Godfather some chat. Show him some love in the chat, guys. You got to respect the Godfather. He said, what is going on, everybody? Shout out to the Godfather. We got Darren Does Things in the chat. What is going on, Darren? Lucho. Shout out to Lucho. Won a giveaway last Friday. So shout out to Lucho. Welcome in, bro. Just here to win another giveaway, I assume. We got I'm My Hero in the chat. Good to see you, I'm My Hero. We got Retro Mike Tech. We got all the OGs in the chat. Rob the Crypto Stomp. We got the mods, guys. Show them some love. They help me out endlessly with this YouTube channel. And if you guys love them as much as I do, drop them some love. We got Al Jr. in the chat. Let's see. Crypto and Yogurt. Good to see you. What is going on? We got Bitfrog. We got everybody in here. Shout out to LG Gunner, said, how do you find naked points of controls? Do you have a video for that? Shout out to LG Gunner. I do have a video about that, but if you stick around on the live stream, I will cover that also in today's stream. I'll show you a really quick way to find them. The big way that I find them is on a separate software than TradingView. It's called ExoCharts. It's an order flow software, but you can find them on TradingView, and I'll show you a really easy way to do it. But I do have a video. I highly recommend you check that out. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and, shout out to Benny, says, Benny Blanco says, from the Bronx. Benny from the Bronx, baby. Let's go. Shout out to you. He said, here for the obligatory comment to win a giveaway. Shout out to Benny. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the chat. We got Chiz Dog in the chat. What is going on? Oh, hey, Emax. Yo, what is going on, Emax? Frankie, long time. Welcome back, bro. Good to see you in here. Hopefully, this is a sign that some people are coming back to crypto after this super boring range we've been in. But let's go ahead and jump on into the charts, guys. I'm trying to figure out what's coming up next, and we'll talk about kind of how we got to where we are, because, again, things have been playing out pretty well. Let's get into it. So here we are on the Bitcoin chart, guys. Now, as you know, in the long term, right, as we pull up over here to the daily time frame, I'm going to start here on the higher time frames and then work my way back down. But as you guys know, as we were looking for major resistance up here at the time point of control, sitting at 66,326, we were looking for that drop to the downside. Now, before I move forward, I do want to point out, guys, I am not bearish on Bitcoin in the long term. If you are new here, and if anybody else new here, guys, fill them in. I am a trader, so when we look for moves to the downside, it does not always mean that we're going to zero, right? When I am bearish, I may just be bearish for a short-term move, and that is very important to realize, because here in the CandleMafia, we make money trading Bitcoin, whether price goes up or down, so we make money on the big moves up, the little moves down, the little moves up, the big moves down, the little moves up. So just keep that in mind as we go through this analysis. But as you guys know, if you've been watching the show, we have been looking for price to come up to this $65,000 level, or 66,326 to be exact, as a major level of resistance. We saw those bearish confirmations on the live stream, and we were shorting this thing. Everybody was was looking for all-time highs, but we were shorting this thing, got that drop down to the last target. All TPs have been hit on that trade in the premium Discord. This was obviously given beforehand in the premium Discord, but we got that drop down to this level here at about $60,300, where we have the value area low of this macro range. Now, that short, I am still holding a portion of it, but a majority of it is locked in profit. But this was a very key level of support, guys. And this is, going to remain the biggest level of support, especially if we get a pullback from where we are right now, which we're going to get into in a minute. But this is the key level of support, guys. When we look at this major range, this is simply a volume profile, right? So when we deviate below these lows, this is not the time to get overly bearish. And as we were looking at here, coming down to this value area low, not the time to be bearish. As a matter of fact, we were longing this level in the premium Discord. So, if you weren't short from up here, down here was not the time to get bearish. We were actually looking for longs here to come up into a very specific level, which we're going to talk about in a second. But when you deviate below these lows, guys, this is not where you want to get bearish. This is really where you want to look for longs. But again, that does not mean that we're going to 100K. We are just looking for that full rotation of the volume profile to potentially come back down to the low, deviate again, come back into the range, so on and so forth. But this is your key level of support, and this is technically coming in at $60,440. It is a little bit of a range depending on where you pull the volume profile from. But 60K, right? That psychological level of 60K is going to be extremely, extremely important. But we were looking not only at this value area low, guys, but we also actually had our daily smart trail on Lux Algo coming in at this level exactly. And we were even looking at this as price was coming down, saying, hey, if this smart trail can come up and get confluent with that value area low, it would make it an even saucier level to look for a long position. But again, not necessarily looking for a long up to 100K. Now, can we get a pump to 75, maybe 100K? Who knows? That is obviously possible. I'm going to cover that scenario in just a second, the bullish scenario, and specifically, guys, what we need to see happen in order to actually look for $70,000. Because as of right now, this is not necessarily what we need to see 70K. But it doesn't mean it won't happen. I'm going to cover exactly what I'm looking at. But seeing that daily smart trail come right in on that value area low, making it a very good place to look for a potential long position, which obviously we were doing in the Discord. And that trade has played out in full at this point. And now we're in a little bit of an interesting situation because if you watch my live stream or my market updates on Friday, you will know that some of the key levels that we were looking at were coming in to about 64,000 and a little bit above, right? Looking for potential short positions. But before we get into that, I want to cover a little bit more on the higher time frames, right? So we're bouncing from the value area low. This is very important context-wise, right? You go from the POC, basically at the POC of that range, down to the value area low. As long as we hold above this, this will technically keep the door open to about 67 and then potentially to $70,000 at that value area high because you deviate below the low, you get back into the range, and then you come back down to the value area low. As long as we hold this as support, the next likely stop could be the POC and then the value area high. And we see this happen time and time again where you deviate below the low, get back in, flip the low to support, go to the POC, go to the high, right? So it's the same thing. That is your macro context. At least that's what I'm looking at. But there is key resistance here. But I'm going to kind of go over like the bullish case here. So we got the bounce from the low. This is important. Now, if we come up to the higher time frames, I will say this is actually something that I was looking at over the weekend. Now, this is not something that I look at very often, but it is actually, let me go ahead and hide Lux Algo. We'll actually pull that back up in a minute. But if we pull up just the bull market support band, right? So we pull this up, the 20-week SMA and 21-week EMA. Let me go ahead and pull that up, right? So pull that up on the weekly time frame. This is Ethereum. How do we get over to Ethereum? What is going on here? You guys can see we actually kind of lost the bull market support band last week, right? We wicked below it, but we have now wicked right back above, and we are now closing above this level. Now, this is not an end-all, be-all indicator where it's like as soon as we're above this, bull market 70K, right? As many people think, right? You think like, oh, we're above the bull market support band, off to 100K we go. Not the case necessarily. As you can see, you can lose this, regain it, lose it, regain it, lose it, regain it, right? But this is a nice level of support to get above, in my own personal opinion, right? So this actually doesn't look too bad. Money flow also kind of coming up here on the weekly time frame. That also doesn't look horrible. So I will say, in the long term, I do think there is a possibility to get up to that $70,000 to $75,000 level based off the fact that not only were you above the bull market support band, but We're also just very simply put, guys, we're inside the macro range here, right? We're inside this macro range, and as long as we hold this value area low, we could potentially look up towards 70 to 75K. And why do I say 75K? Very simply put, that is because we have our liquidation levels, if I go ahead and zoom this out, and these liquidation levels, guys, were able to help us snipe that this move up to that $64,000 level based off all these liquidations. This is a huge tool that can help you identify where price may go. Now, it's not as easy as just finding the liquidation levels and then saying price is going to go up there. It's not that easy. A lot of people think they could just hop on the heat maps, look where the liquidity is and say that's the next stop for Bitcoin. That is not how it works. But you can use this in confluence with other forms of TA to find confluence on what the next likely path for Bitcoin will be. But if we pull up the higher time frames here, let me actually pull up the I'll pull up the 6-month time frame here on the heat maps. Go ahead and run it. We got a little bit of black coffee, a little leftover black coffee here. Oh, God, it's hot. Oh, God, it's hot. Hey, shout out to Valerie. Welcome in. What is going on? Good to see you in here. But you guys can see we do have a ton of liquidity sitting above $70,000, right? So we're in that macro volume profile. We've come down, tested the value area low. If we can get above this POC, right, and we're going to talk about this is kind of the exact thing that we need to happen in order to see those higher prices. And then we're going to, it's not all rainbows and butterflies, guys. I'm going to talk about why we may be looking for a move lower before we see 75K or $70,000. But in the long run, guys, like for the most part, I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin right now. In the long term, right? If we get another move down to 58K, that's not like me being bearish. That's not I'm not flipping bearish at that point, right? This is just like more noise before the actual move. And I'm going to break it all down to make it easy for you guys to understand. But you're above the value area low. We've tested it. And as long as we hold that level, we're anticipating the POC and potentially the value area high. That is just how the volume profiles typically work. And understanding that we have all that liquidity up here, liquidity oftentimes acts as a magnet. Again, it's not a guarantee, but oftentimes you will get gravitated towards these levels. Those liquidations act as a magnet for price, sucking price up or sucking price down, depending on where your liquidity is sitting. And right now, there is more liquidity sitting up here. Again, that doesn't just mean that you have to go up there first, but it is just kind of a puzzle piece pointing to the upside, right? This is in agreement with other things, right? We're not just basing this off of liquidation levels. So that is nice to see. But that's kind of what we need to see, right? Again, if we do come up, if we're going to look for that $70,000 level to come in, we got to get above the POC, guys. This macro POC. I'll come up to the daily so we can see it a little bit better. We have this weekly trend line coming down with, pretty significant resistance, right? You have the TPOC, the point of control of the range at 67K, and that trend line flying right through this resistance level. And this is part of the reason why we were looking for that short and absolutely made a killing on that drop to the downside, right? And if you're new here, you don't have to wait for price to pump to make money. You can make money on the dumps as well. Shout out to the CandleMafia. But that was part of the reason why we were looking for that drop to the downside. Everyone looks for all-time highs. Everybody's bullish. Everybody's, looking for higher prices. We are short, right? Oftentimes you will see us being kind of contrary to what everyone else is talking about. Again, doesn't mean we're going to zero. We were just looking to capitalize on that move to the value area low. Now, if we continue up, this is the zone, right? This is the level to get above. Sitting between 67.1 and 66.283. This is the zone to get above if we want to see $70,000 come in. Now, it's not just a tap of this level. This POC is big resistance. We have to get above there and hold it as support before we can look for that move up to $70,000. But is it possible? Well, the volume profile says so, right? It says it is possible. So if we do move up there, that's the zone to get above. This is also... another thing that we can look at here is if I pull up the daily levels, we also do have a daily level above that POC sitting at $68,271. So we get above there, you got to flip this POC to support, and then that next target would be that $68,271 level with just that simple daily horizontal, right? That is just a simple horizontal level of resistance. And that would kind of be the bullish case, right? This is the argument for the bullish case. Now, some other things that could be pointing to that could be the 4-hour money flow. The daily money flow in the green here. This would make me a bit more greedy with the longs and a little bit more conservative with the shorts at this point, right? We've already crushed that huge short from the top. And now, as this money flow is now in the green and sustaining above that zero line, this is what we are using as a filter. A filter to look for longs, right? We're saying, hey, as long as that money flow stays in the green, we could potentially look for lackluster retracements to the downside, potential higher lows, and then continuations up. Now, again, this is the bullish case, and I'm going to go over the bearish case as well, which is really what I'm going to be trading right now. So But that's the bullish case, right? Come down, put in a higher low, money flow stays in the green, and we get the bigger move up to our next target, right? Between 66.3 and about 68.271. And that's really the bullish case. But obviously, we have a lot of resistance here that we're going to talk about in just a second. But daily money flow actually doesn't look that bad. 2-day green dot is starting to print. Money flow still kind of just not looking great, not looking horrible. It's kind of just, I don't know. I hate this 2-day money flow. But coming on down here to the 4-hour, money flow on the 4-hour kind of coming out a little bit. So this is kind of where things get muddied up a little bit. Yeah, like even the 10-hour money flow came back up, but your red dot is looking to print. But for the most part, guys, if this daily money flow stays in the green, you're going to be looking for lackluster pushes to the downside and then continuations up, right? And right now, I do think there is a reason to be looking for a pullback. Not only are we coming up to key resistance, notice we have this anchored VWAP from the top of the range flying right here. This is a very important level to get above and flip to support in order to get that next push to the upside. And right now, we are rejecting. So I just want to point it out. I am not bearish on Bitcoin long term, right? Because I am going to give you the bearish case right now and kind of what I'm looking at here moving forward over the next day or so, maybe even the next week. And it's going to be involving a little bit of blood. So, but again, just in general, as long as we hold this value area low, if you're not a day trader, if you're not looking to capitalize on the short positions, then, take what I'm about to say next with a grain of salt. If you're just, bullish on Bitcoin, you were buying, accumulating on this move up, and you're just looking for the big move up, right now, things don't look super, super horrible. Really still want to see the 3-day and the 2-day money flow come back into the green. Like this 3-day money flow still doesn't look that good. Still keeping this in mind. But as of right now, value area low at 60,300 all the way down to 60K even is the level to remain above. Unless we wick below it for a slight minute. And I'm going to go over that case right now. So in the short term, let's go down to the lower time frames. I'm going to go ahead and hide these levels of resistance. I'm going to hide the dailies, and I'm going to come down. I'm going to turn off the macro range, and I'm going to pull up the levels we were looking at last week. Now, again, if you watched the live stream last week or the market update that I uploaded on Friday, we were down here looking for longs, right? This was Friday. Excuse me. We were looking for longs at this very key level of support. Why is this a key level of support? Well, we just looked at it, right? It's the main range, value area low. Putting lower lows on our price action into the key level of support, right, with our higher lows on our momentum waves, right? Seeing this on many different time frames, looking for the long position. I can actually even pull it up. There's those there's that $63,000 liquidation levels that we just came up and took earlier today. But you guys can see here, bada boom, bada bing. Where are we? Here's that long setup, right? So we don't just talk about this stuff. We walk the walk as well. Looking for that long position in the premium Discord with the bullish divergences, amongst other things we were looking at for that move up to the golden pocket or this purple zone between the golden pocket and 786, between 63,941 all the way up to about 65K. And as you can see here, that did play out in full. Looking to first come up to the value area low, flip that value area low to support, and then get the move up to the high into that golden pocket for the key level of resistance. And here we are sitting on the live stream with all those targets hit perfectly. Now, I am looking to compound my short potentially here based off the fact that if we are going to get a lower high, because remember, guys, as we look at this, if we are going to get a lower high and a bigger pullback, which could still be in the cards, to bring us down to about $58,000. And I'm going to show you the context that we were looking at last week, which will make a bit of sense for you. But very simply put, you look for the longs here. You come up and hit the targets. Now, can we break out here? Potentially. But based off of what I'm about to show you, I think there is a potential possibility for a pullback. And if we do come down, where are we going to go? And again, like we talked about this on Friday, guys, I'm going to be looking for shorts up here. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss this stuff, guys. But if we pull up our main range from the 2021 top, you can see as we approach this major resistance level, right, we are within this volume profile. We had deviated above the high, gotten accepted back into the range, and we looked for that bounce off the POC. But typically, the way the volume profiles work, guys, I don't love longing the POCs unless it's in the context of a scalp position. This is not normally where I look for a long to yeet up to much higher prices. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but this is not necessarily, as long as we remain in this range, and this is going to be kind of like what I would suggest that anyone new to the charts or anyone who's like not looking for the day trades put on their chart. Put this range, right? Value area low sitting at about 57,253. POC sitting at 61K, right? Value area high sitting at about $65,200, right? As long as we remain inside of this range, we could potentially, unless we break out of this value area high, hold it as support, and get an impulse to the upside, we could potentially get stuck inside of this macro range. And if we get back down to this POC and we start losing this POC, the next likely place for price to go is going to be the 57,000 or 58 to 57K, right? Where we have the value area low. Now, am I bearish on Bitcoin? No, right? If we get that drop, I am not bearish on Bitcoin. Now, I may be bearish in the context of looking for a move down there so I can capitalize on the short, but that does not make me bearish on Bitcoin altogether. Why is that? Well, very simply put, the higher time frames, other than the 3-day money flow and the 4-day money flow, and a lot of that money flow coming out, other than that, right, we are still within our macro range, right? Pulling up the larger range. If we come down there, this would simply be, we have some very key levels below, guys. Pulling up the monthly horizontal at 58.9, right? This on top of, this could be the level to watch potentially, right? 58.9. If we do get another pullback, right? Again, value area low is going to be absolutely key. If we lose that, monthly level sitting here at 58.9 is going to be kind of your next level. And then pulling in that bigger range, when you look at it in this context, if you don't bounce off that monthly, even if you do bounce off the monthly, like you're kind of stuck under that POC. And in my opinion, I would love to see that $58,000 value area low get taken, right? 57, 58K. Now, this is also a golden pocket retracement of the larger move. Now, another reason why I would not necessarily be looking for, just in general, right? Like if we do come down to 58K, I am still bullish on Bitcoin, right? If we don't break up from here, and we get the move down to 58K, I don't think that invalidates the fact that we're going to 70K, right? I just think that we're going to get a little turbulence before it happens, right? So kind of longer term bullish, medium term, little cautious, right? Little cautious. But if we pull, let me pull that back up real quick. If you pull your, I'll just pull it separately just so it's a little cleaner, right? Let's look at this, right? Let's pull up Lux Algo. We'll pull up the price actions concepts, and we'll pull up the daily time frame. Right? So there's some other things I'm looking at here, right? Let's hide the TA real quick. You guys can see we have a bullish change of character here. This would make us favor long positions, right? Now, what else do we have? Well, I'm going to pull that up in a second. But we have the bullish change of character, right? Your candlesticks turn green. This is where you kind of want to look for longs in the long term, right? This could show the fact that we broke this high. Ah, man, I didn't want that range to pull back up. The fact that we broke this high here, right? Let me actually hide that as well. The fact that we broke this high, guys, could be a sign that we could continue higher. And, this is oftentimes what we look at this all the time on Lux Algo, right? You get the bullish change of character. Your candlesticks turn green. This is giving you not that you can't pull back, but you're going to be looking at those pullbacks through the lens of looking for long positions, right? So let's go ahead and pull our fib from the low to the high. 57.8, eerily close to $58,000, and also somewhat close to that monthly. This could be a very, very big level to look at for a bounce, because if we do come down there, you will be able to hold up on that golden pocket retracement / monthly, and that could potentially continue the overall uptrend, right? The more macro bullish structure here, right? So that could be, right? That would kind of be what I would look at, right? And then you have another order block up here at about $71,000. That's kind of what I'm looking at, right? This is why if we get a drop down to 58K, I am not necessarily calling for zero. This will probably be a case where you see everybody saying, oh my God, is it all over? Is the bear market here? And then, even though we're potentially looking for a pullback here when everyone's bullish, when we come down here, everyone will be bearish and we will probably be looking for longs, right? And that is just the life of a trader. So that is really what I'm going to be looking at here. And then if we pull up the 4-hour, you also do have a little bit of confluence here. You have a 4-hour order block sitting at about $58,000 as well. So if we are lucky enough to get the capital, we're able to capitalize on that short position back down to this monthly zone around $58,000, we have a lot of reason to be looking for a bounce here. And I am not going to be flipping overall bearish on Bitcoin. But if you ask me right now, am I bearish on Bitcoin? I do think there is a possibility to pull back here. So shout out to Lux Algo. They are a sponsor of the channel, guys. If you want to check them out, link in the description down below. And yeah, we pull this. I show how I use this all the time. I have videos on the channel if you guys want to know how I use this indicator to find buyer entries into my trades. You can check that out. But yeah, it also teaches you market structure. If you're new to the Mafia and you're new to trading, it can help you learn price action, which is nice because you're not just relying on an indicator to just tell you where price is going to go. It's actually going to teach you how to read the price action, which is super cool. But just in general, also was able to help us get the confluence here at that value area low for that bigger bounce, right? But with that being said, That is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin right now, guys. Locally, we could see the pullback, though. So, zooming into the lower time frames here, we are putting in some bearish divergences here at that key level of resistance, which, again, if I pull all this other analysis off real quick, pull up the new range here, you guys can see, right? We put in some bearish divergences here on the 1 hour time frame. Where did we put that divergence in? Right at that value area high, right? Let me just actually hide Lux Algo real quick. But yeah, higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves, money flow starting to leak out here on the 1 hour slightly, right? So that could potentially give us somewhat of a significant local top, which if we get the drop down, you guys know what levels I'm looking at now, right? And I will be looking to capitalize on that with a short position. And then if we do come out, I'll just simply get stopped out, and we will simply look for price to continue up. I am still holding some of my long positions with profits locked in, stop losses at my entry or in profit on one of them, and we will just let those continue to pay us out, right? So kind of covered on both ends here. I am long and short at the same time, up on all of those trades, and we'll see what happens here. So if I do add to the short, we'll continue to capitalize on that on the way back down, looking for the price action to come to 58K. Around 58K, if we are able to break down there, and that would be absolutely beautiful to then turn back around and then yeet back up to about $70,000 to revisit the high of that overall macro range. Does that make sense to everybody? That is what I'm going to be looking for. So again, is it impossible to just yeet up here? Absolutely not. But again, I am covered. If we get stopped out, the longs will play out. I'll get stopped out of the short. No big deal. And, not only do we have the 1 hour bearish divergences, we're also, we got to get above this anchored VWAP from the top of the range. This is, again, sitting at 63.6, which is something we've been looking at over the past week as a key level of resistance, another reason why we were looking at this as a key zone of resistance. And just coming on down here to the higher hourly time frames, right? Like your 6 hour red dot looking to print, 8 hour red dot looking to print, right? 10 hour red dot potentially looking to print. This could call for a little bit of a pullback. If not 58K, at least a little bit of a pullback, right? On top of that, if we get that 8 hour red dot and that 30-minute keeps coming out here, guys, that 30-minute money flow crossover into the red could be the thing that gives us the bigger move to the downside. And I sound like a broken record when I say that, and I purposely say it in the same cadence every time to try to help it stick in the Mafia's heads, so you guys can capitalize on this, right? Oftentimes you'll see me come up here, if we get an 8 hour red dot and that 30-minute money flow crosses into the red, that 30-minute money flow crossover into the red could be the thing to give us the bigger move down. And oftentimes we come back to the charts and we say, look, oh no, 30-minute money flow crossover gave us the bigger move down. Oh, 30-minute money flow crossover into the green gave us the bigger move up. But it's only if certain things are setting up. I have a video on the channel showing you guys how to trade that actual strategy for 100% free on the channel. You guys can check that out. But very simply put, money flow starting to come out, bear divs confirmed, and the higher hourly red dots are starting to look to potentially print here. So if that does happen, I'll be looking for at least a pullback. Key level, 60,400 at the value area low. I would love to come take these lows out into that $58,000 macro, or I'm sorry, previous value area. So, let me pull something up for you guys real quick. Pretty much what I've been looking at is something like this. This is basically what I'm talking about. Now, this is a little bit lower at 56K, but this is pretty much the same thing I'm looking for, right? We got the drop down, we get the bounce. This is about 60. This is basically where we bounced up to, and then I'm looking for a potential continuation down. But again, 58K is a big, big level to watch. I'm not necessarily just going to hold until 56K, but 58K would be a big level to watch before 56, and that is all represented in this volume profile. And we're seeing this play out almost exactly as we would like, right? Get the bounce up to 64K. If we get the rejection here, which is starting, that's where I will be looking to come back down, not necessarily into this range, but more into this range, right? These are two different ranges, but same thing, right? Looking for the bounce down, move up, back down to the value area low, and then that is where I'll be looking for more longs, right? But again, I'm not like not buying altcoins. I'm not like holding out because I think Bitcoin's going to zero. It's very, again, if we come down here, I'm probably going to be bullish for another rise up to about 70K if we don't take off from here. And if you're curious what that other range is, very simply, it is the range from down here. So we just pull that up. You can see rise down, break out of the range slightly, come back in, and then you could, maybe 56K is on the cards, right? Because that liquidity, if we pull up that local liquidity, let me pull up the lower time frames. Bada boom. Where are we? Where are we? 60K is really the strong level that you don't want to lose. But let me just refresh this. Come on. There we go. So, yeah, 57K. You do have some liquidity sitting down there. That does come down to about 56.8-ish. So, 56K is not totally out of the cards. But, again, 58 is going to be the real big level to watch, in my opinion, because it's the value area low of the bigger range, right? 57 to 58K. So that is kind of what I would like to see. You could also look at this range as well. I'm not going to give you exactly where these ranges are pulled from. You can kind of eyeball it. But that is... yeah, that's kind of what you can look for. But I don't know. I don't know if 56K is as likely as 58K. But that's what we're looking at, guys. This range is the main range I'm looking at because it gives us that really, really nice, it gives us a really nice invalidation, right? Because if we come up here, we get above that value area high, and we start staying above here with signs of potential pumpage to the upside, or we get an impulse out of here on a high volume. Like that is where it's like, hey, we're getting break out of the range. We're probably not coming back down, and then maybe we see 70K first. But for me, with the way the local time frames look, I am at least looking for some kind of pullback here. So yeah, and I mean, quite honestly, if we do come down a little bit and we don't see those lower targets hit, I mean. Yeah, we already bounced off this golden pocket. So, if we start losing this 786, that would, in my opinion, be the sign of more downside. So, doorway to lower prices, in my opinion, 62,275 or 62,264. Once we start losing that 786, that's kind of where I think you're going back down to the POC. And at that point, you're kind of at risk of losing that to come down to that bigger zone. But if we hold here, and we start pushing up towards that value area high and hold, that's kind of more of the bullish case. But I am playing the potential drop to the downside. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at here on Bitcoin, guys. And shout out to anybody who's been watching along with these updates and the live streams because they have been absolutely ridiculous. The levels have been absolutely ridiculous. It's not always that great with TA, right? Like TA will play out most of the time, but things have been like very, very technical. Like exactly what we've been looking at have been playing out. It's almost like I feel like we're due to be like pretty wrong soon. I keep saying that, but like the more we say it, like the more likely it is to happen. So just keep that in mind. TA is not 100% of the time, even though things recently have been playing out perfectly. But yeah. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. And we're going to take a look at some altcoins as well. Yeah, shout out to NFT Goku. Shout out to you, bro. He said there's an insane amount of liquidity at 57K. The CME gap is at 53K, so there's no reason for price to go that low without filling the CME gap. And when it goes that low, it most likely will hit 44K. I don't want to talk about that on this live stream. Shout out to NFT Goku. But great outlook. I don't want to bring it up right now. But yeah, if we get down to those levels and we do hit 53K and we start losing the 786 here, we could potentially see the bigger drop come in. But we're not going to talk about that just yet. I've talked about that so many. Honestly, I've talked about this so many times that I think 99% of people in the live stream right now know what I'm looking at if we get the bigger drop down. So yeah, but shout out to NFT Goku. I would agree with that for the most part. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Manator said, Frankie shows us the future. No crystal balls here, guys. No crystal balls. Definitely didn't just knock the crystal ball off the desk. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But let's see. Shout out to DJ said, because you are the most level head on YouTube. Yeah, shout out to DJ. Listen, if you guys are new here, you are not going to get anything other than sound information on this channel. I will never come up here and scream all-time highs unless I think it's going to happen. And to be quite honest, a lot of times that comes with me saying what no one else wants to hear. So, again, a lot of people, the reason for that, guys, is because I'm a trader. I'm a technical analyst. So when most people get bullish, I am getting bearish, right? And the reason for that is because I am reading the charts. I am not just, most people, right, most retail will see a pump, right? And they see this, and it's not until the pump happens that they start to get bullish, right? They're looking at the chart, they look at the pump, and they say, oh my God, we just broke 66K. This must mean we're bullish. This must mean we're going up. But if you don't have an understanding of the charts, I don't understand. And you could do fundamental analysis. That's totally legitimate, right? But if you're not looking at the charts and you don't understand where lower highs are likely to come in or where the macro resistance is or where those key levels are or where the volume's being traded or what the buyers and sellers are actually doing, that is what moves the market. It is liquidity and buying and selling. It's a simple auction process, right? That is what moves the price. And if you don't understand that, it's very hard. Most people who don't understand that will just see a move up, and then that's when they get bullish. Meanwhile, this is why most people lose money in the market, right? Because they see the push up, and they don't get bullish until you pump. And at this point, this is probably where you're going to be looking for at least some kind of pullback, if not a continuation of a downtrend, depending on the context. So you're never going to get anything other than hard information. And listen, the technical analysis, the information is not going to be 100% accurate 100% of the time, but it is going to be right more often than it's not. And if you manage your risk, that's how you become profitable over time. So yeah, it's kind of hard. Like the hardest part of my job, I say this constantly, is up here, I am bearish, right, for a drop to the downside, which we got. But it's hard for people who are new to the market or new to trading or just new to crypto in general to understand, like, well, then why are we bouncing here if you were bearish? It's like we were bearish up here and bullish here. We were shorting here, longing here. Most people wouldn't get bearish until they saw the drop down. They're like, oh, my God, now price is bearish. And then they get the bounce, and they're like, oh, my God, that was a great recovery. Now we're bullish. And then it comes back down. And like, oh, my God, now it's bearish. And then now it's bullish. That's how you get stuck on the wrong side of ping pong. So you're never going to get emotional analysis here. You're never going to get my random opinion, right? You're going to get my opinion on the data that is being given to me on the chart. And this is just what works for me, right? And you'll notice it. The longer you stay in crypto, you will know. You'll start to notice, like, oh, wow, everybody's bullish right now. I wonder if we're going to get a pullback. And once you start to understand the charts, and sometimes, right, once in a while, we'll get a push up, right? And then, everyone's bullish, and then you get the breakout. But more often than not, there will be a reason to look for higher prices on the chart. So when you see me, right, if we came up here and I didn't think there was a high chance of a dump, I wouldn't have said it, right? And if I thought there was a bigger chance for a pump, then I would have looked for that, right? And we would have been like, probably going to see higher prices come in. But only if that information's on the chart. You have to be level-headed if you want to make money in this market, or you're never going to make money. And that's just the simple, reality of it. And I am here for the Candle Mafia, and the Candle Mafia, well, not the Candle Mafia only, but I'm here for the Candle Mafia, and that's the only thing I care about, is keeping you guys on the right side of these trades. No emotional damage. Shout out to American Crypto Monster. And yeah, guys, also with that being said, like, don't listen to anybody on YouTube, including me. You can't just watch someone's TA, and you could take it for what it's worth, right? You could say like, well, hey, this guy's right this many times out of 10. I take him very seriously, right? He's usually right. Maybe you could take that into account, but you should never, ever just, it's hard to do with me because I never just call for a direction. I never say up only. But if anyone's ever doing that, like, be very careful around those people. But like even me, right? Like that's why I'm very agnostic about the market, because the market moves in up and down movements, right? It's never just straight up or straight down. And I try to give you guys where price is going to go every day. But if I were ever to be like 100K incoming, which will probably never happen, I'll never just call for that without the opposite end of the coin. But if I ever did, you can't just trade because I'm going to enter along because he said he's bullish, right? You can't do that, even if it's me. Don't do that to anybody. You have to make your own decisions, and that's why I like to teach on this channel. I like to focus on actually showing you guys the trades, showing you guys how I actually do the TA, to teach you how to become profitable yourself or how to find nice setups yourself. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Seek Parabolic, said the breakout is the fun part. Frankie's just too grounded. Shout out to Seek Parabolic. Yeah, and it's fun when it pumps. It's fun when it pumps. But you know what's not fun is getting excited about a pump and then getting absolutely dumped on. That is not fun. I feel like I was like one of the only people looking for that pullback here. Not the only one, but one of the very few. All right, let's see. Shout out to Gene Lee. Said, all right, fine, I'll just unsubscribe. Shout out to Gene Lee. But yeah, let's see. Shout out to Bitfrog. Said, copy trading Frankie with 100x leverage, 125 extra leverage on my life savings. Shout out to Bitfrog. Please don't do that. Shout out to you, bro. All right, let's see. Value area percent. Shout out to JP. Says, on the Frankie Candles Essentials, what is your value area percentage setting? 70%. That's what I always use for my volume profiles. 70% value area. Love this stream. Shout out to David. Well, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Make sure you smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel if you like the sauce that we give here. Shout out to Ali. Says, Frankie, how to trade with CVD. I actually have a video on the channel. I think there's a big cruise ship and a whale on the thumbnail. It's a little older. I think it's from last summer. You can go ahead and check that out. I show you how to trade with the whales using CVD divergences. So check that out. Now, again, like, this YouTube channel is a free trading course. We have the paid Discord. We will have more paid products in the future. But this YouTube channel is a free trading course. There is so much free sauce on this channel. It's insane. Most people would charge for what is on this channel for free. It's not organized. It's not in the right order. You got to kind of hunt and look for what you want. But it is completely free sauce. Like super value. on this YouTube channel for free. All right, let's see. Okay, so shout out to Edward Torres. I have a video on the paper trading on TradingView. You can, I think it's just called Trade Risk Free. I think it's called. You could look that up and on the channel, and it'll show you how to set up paper trading on TradingView. You can also paper trade on Femex and Blowfin, both exchanges that I like to trade on right now. So yeah, you guys can check that out as well if you want to actually get your hands dirty on the exchange, figure out what all the buttons do, all the different types of orders, mess around with fake money so you're at zero risk before you actually load up a live account. You can check that out. And also, guys, we do have our deal with Blowfin right now where they are doing deposit bonuses. Depending on how much money you deposit, you can get some free trading bonus funds to trade with, right? So I think it's like, I think it's 15%. So if you... So yeah, if you deposit like $100, you get 15% in free money, basically, to just up your position size, etc. So you can check that link in the description down below. But let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of these altcoins, guys, because I know we kind of naked P. Yeah, shout out to LG. I'll talk about the MPOCs in just a minute. And shout out to Tony. If you could drop the link to the MPOC video, I would greatly appreciate that. Hey, shout out to Rodrigo. Said, thanks, Frankie. $120 from Friday with your streams about fibs. With your streams and fib video. That video is really life-changing. Shout out to Rodrigo. I'm telling you guys, the sauce is here. Check out that beginner series where we looked at the Fibonacci retracement levels and how I used them to get into a nice trade from 58K. Shout out to Rodrigo. Congratulations, bro. There you go, guys. There is money to be made here on the charts. I can promise you that, whether price goes up or down. Let's see. Up to how much? Tony D, what is the, let me see here. I think we actually do have the, let me see here. If you go to the announcement section in the Discord, all those, all of the, right here. So what is it? Maximum cap of $1,500 in futures bonuses. So you can get up to $1,500 in free bonus funds. So there you go. That's that limit. So you guys can check that out in the description down below. But go ahead and drop those altcoins in the chat, guys. We're going to start taking a look at some of the altcoins. Let's see. Thanks, Tony. Shout out to LG Gunner. Oh, yeah, so there you go. That is the MPOC video, I guess. Look at this. The mods are absolutely out of control, guys. Absolutely out of control. So let's go ahead and continue on. I want to take a look at Ethereum with you guys, and then we will jump into some other altcoins. There are some other alts that may not be looking too bad. But real quick, I want to do a quick update here on Ethereum. As you guys can see, we have gotten the push up here to a local golden pocket. I'm not going to pull it. I'm just going to save your time here. But one thing I do just kind of want to look at with you guys is just this general range, right? Value area high sitting at 26.28, POC sitting at 23.50, and then the value area low sitting at 22.74. So this is your volume profile, in my own personal opinion. This is the one I'm looking at. I would love, again, this daily looks kind of bullish, but I would really, really love, I don't know if you're going to get lucky enough to get this, but I would love a drop down here to revisit this value area low. Why is that? Well, more often than not, you see these ranges rotate in full. You go from the low to the POC. As long as you're above that value area low, you look for the high to come in. Deviate above the high, look to get accepted back into the range, go back to the POC and back to the low. The POC, when you lose a value area high or a value area low, it's the same thing, just flip the direction. If you get below a value area high and get accepted into this range, the next likely place for price to go, simply put, is that POC. The POC is the magnet within the range. And then that, oftentimes, you will stick to this level. Sometimes you get a bounce, then you might stick to it, but more often than not, you will wind up losing that POC and seeing the value area low come in. So very naturally, based off the volume profiles, I would love, and again, I don't know if this is guaranteed to happen, but I would love for a drop back down to lose the POC and come to the value area low. Very similar to what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, right? Very similar, right? You bounce off the POC. I would love to lose this POC, come back down to the low for a fresh long. That's just what I'm looking for. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I am prepared for this not to happen as well. It is your responsibility as a trader not to gamble, right? Trading can easily become gambling. So this is the hardest part, right? You have to have a set of rules in place. You have to have a strategy. You have to have risk management, right? So if we don't get the drop down to 58K, That is okay for me, right? I am set to make money on the way up. But very similarly, right? Get below the low, go to the POC, turbulence, right? Lose the POC, go to the low. This would be a more ideal long situation in my opinion. Same thing for Ethereum. Can we bounce from here? Sure. Would I rather come down to this? Do I think this is a better setup? Yes. Is it guaranteed to come in? No. But if it does, I will have an alert set, and hopefully I can catch a long here. I haven't traded Ethereum in a while, but if we do come down here, I will probably be looking for longs. I will tell you that. So there you go. And this is somewhat of a wide range because not only do we have the value area low and these two fresh daily horizontals, these lows look suspicious to me still. And again, maybe we never come back down there. I don't know. But if we do come down, right, I will say these lows, I would look to potentially at least take out that low, if not both of these lows. But you have to, it's an if this, then that statement. You got to come down to the level, analyze price action, figure out what confirmations you're looking for before you take the trade. It's not have price come down here and then long. You have to analyze price action, find an entry trigger and a reason to actually take the trade. But if you don't have these, if you don't have these points of interest on your chart, you don't know where to look for the trade. Set your trap, cast your net, set your trap, throw out your fishing line, and wait for price to come to your trap. And then if it takes the cheese, if the mouse takes the cheese, if the fish bites the hook, if the fish jumps in the net, then you execute. If it comes over to, if the fish, right, price, comes over to your hook and it doesn't bite, then you don't take the trade because it's probably going to swim away, right? And then you set another hook at a different level, right? It's like a trap. Set your trap, wait for price to come in, look for your confirmations, then take the trade. You only take trades that are there. So there you go. But that's what I'd be looking at on Ethereum, for the most part. I will say this. This daily looks pretty bullish. Fresh green dot, money flow crossing over into the green at the same time. Money flow indicates a longer-term trend. So if this confirms, this could potentially mark the start. And we've been in the red for quite some time here. I will say that. So this could mark that this trend is going to continue to the upside, to be quite honest. If we do continue up and we don't go to the low first, value area high at 26.31 is the biggest level of resistance that you need to break out from. So there you go. Very simply put, this daily looks pretty bullish. But again, I can't long. I have to wait for a pullback to long. Okay. Let's see. Shout out to Terry. He said, "What up, Frankie Candles? The sauce from the boss of the candles, of the Candle Mafia. Bing bong." Shout out to Terry. I appreciate you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. Welcome in. Let's see. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Stomp. Thank you for posting those altcoins. Let's go ahead and pin to the top of the chat. We'll have to replace the current pinned comment, which is smash that like button. So if you have not smashed that like button, guys, it is the easiest and most free way to promote the Candle Mafia and push this content out to more people so we can help more people. Please, for the love of God, let's grow the Candle Mafia into a more unstoppable force than it already is. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue on here. Can we, shout out to Bullish on Parade, said, can we agree on calling inverse head and shoulders knees and toes? I'm with it. Hey, shout out to Flame, said, hello, remember me? Shout out to Flame. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. Of course I remember you. Not that long of a time, no see. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano, or ADA, as some people like to call it. Let's see. Okay. And real quick, just to show you guys how to find these naked points of controls, because these are, oftentimes very, very strong levels, right? Monthly naked point of control, daily naked points of control, weekly naked points of controls. If you want to get these on your level, if you want to get these levels on your chart, simply put, go to your indicator section, type in SVP, Session Volume Profile. This is what you want to add to your chart. Once you add this to your chart, let it load. It might take a minute. There you go. Yours won't look like this. So I'm going to go back to default and show you what you're going to see. Check out the video on the channel. But real quick, I just saved that as default. I want to apply, reset settings, right? Very simply put, you are going to see this, which is pretty much useless. I'm on the daily chart. What this does is pull a volume profile off of each candle, right? So daily, we have one volume profile on each daily candle. But this is basically useless unless you extend the POC to the right. So you want to come into your settings, extend POC to the right, and now you have daily naked points of controls. Go to the weekly time frame. Why is this not working? Okay, I don't know why it's not working on the weekly, but it's supposed to work. I don't know why it's choking. Actually, no. Don't use the session volume profile. I think you'll have better luck with the periodic. So just type in PVP, periodic volume profile. It's basically the same thing, but you get to change the period, right? So come on to the daily, right? 1 bar, so that means on the daily time frame, 1 bar is 1 day, so you'll have one profile on each candle. It's not even really that important. Watch the video if you want more details, but pull up PVP, make sure you extend the POC to the right, and then you'll get the naked points of controls, right? And then, yeah, weekly, these are weekly naked points of controls, right? And then once price comes and taps these levels, they get taken out, right? So these were naked. These were naked. Come on. It won't work in bar replay mode. I'm getting trolled right now, guys. But there you go. PVP, extend your POC to the right, and then you'll get the daily naked points of controls. And then if you go to the weekly, that's simply weekly naked point of controls. Pull up the monthly. There's your monthly naked points of control. So there you go. That's how you do it. So shout out to LG. You're probably already watching that video, but hopefully that helps. Shout out to Captain Kirk. What is going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Yo, shout out to VW John said, I can neither confirm or deny any involvement with getting captain prior, with any involvement with the captain prior to coming in here. Shout out to VW John. Shout out to you, bro. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, let's see. Let's take a look at, I guess we'll start with Cardano. We'll take a look at Link. We'll take a look at Sui, Solana. We'll take a look at the good ones. So let's take a look at Cardano here real quick. Cardano, Tether. Stay on this chart. So here's your local profile. And you could argue. Yeah, I mean, you're in this range down here. If price leaves, you're probably going to seek out new value, right, or previous value, which we did have previous value here. If we lost this range, very simply put, we would be looking to gravitate towards the previous area of balance. Balance here, balance here. That's how the market moves, right? It is always seeking fair value. So very simply put, if we break out of this range, you're going to be looking to be coming up into the 48 to 65K zone. This previous area of value. Now, locally, this is your volume profile. You went from the low to the high. It was quite a journey, but you went to the high, right? Now, you are rejecting the value area high. Your POC is sitting here at about 37, almost 38 cents. If you can't get back above 38 cents, you could potentially look for a drop back down to the value area low. But if we're looking here at the indicators, I will say this. Today is not looking that bad. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Some of these altcoins don't look that bad. Now, this is obviously dependent on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin dumps, the alts will likely follow. But just from a binary perspective, from a TA perspective, this money flow is trending up on the 2-day. This does not look that bad, especially with the way Ethereum looks with the green dot and the money flow crossover into the green. Doesn't look that bad. So again, I don't know how promising it is that you're going to come back down to this macro low. So what I would do is I would pull this local range, because you went from the low. Yeah. I mean, I would probably just keep a look on the higher time frame here. So yeah, daily green dot printing could continue to move up, but really the money flow is what I want to pay attention to. This money flow on the daily, if this continues into the green, I would anticipate the trend to potentially continue to the upside, right? Bada boom. Kind of hard to call here. Not really a decent setup on Cardano right now. But those are the levels. Value area high at 41.35, PLC at 37.95, and the value area low at 29.17. And those are pennies, right? That's kind of like the exact decimals. So there you go. That's kind of what I'd look at. Daily doesn't look bad. 2-day doesn't look bad. 3-day, VWAP coming up. Money, 2 days, 2 days really where it stops. Daily looking nice. 2-day looking somewhat good if we can get that crossover into the green. Weekly VWAP coming down. So, yeah, again, not really a trade setup here in my opinion. But, maybe you get that weekly red dot. You finally get the drop down to this value area low. But I'll be honest, really Ethereum, like this daily, I'd love to see how this daily pans out. could just fake out back into the red. But I'll be honest, daily green dot with the money flow crossover doesn't look bad, which obviously if Ethereum pumps, a lot of the alts could follow. But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Cardano. That's the range. Other than that, I don't think you're going to blast off into this range anytime soon or, within the next week. But yeah, that's kind of what I'd be looking at. So there you go. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's continue on here. Actually, I think I scooped. Shout out to Jenny. Said, actually, I think I scooped up some cheap ETH in 2020, but that doesn't count. Shout out to Jenny Swanson. Had probably really cheap ETH in 2020. Probably like what? $300 ETH in 2020? Or $80 ETH in 2020? Yeah, 80-ish, $90 in 2020 if you bought the bottom. $300 if you were like buying the top-ish, which still was really good if you're still holding that. Let's see. Shout out to Jesse. He says, we need at least 400 more likes. Smash that like button, guys. Don't forget, if we hit our like goal at 550 likes, we will be giving away some Frankie Candles hats. And who posted it? Pennywise. I think Pennywise shouted they won a free hat, I think. And they posted a picture of it in the Discord. Shout out to Pennywise. Very similar hat to this one. I think you got the all black. But shout out to Pennywise. Indicator name. Excuse me, the money float. This is Market Cipher B. If you want to check out my discount code, save some money on this. It is a paid indicator, but obviously it is a huge part of my analysis and why we are able to call these moves so accurately. So if you want to check out the discount code, MCFrank20, link in the description down below. But, as always, guys, you can be a profitable trader. You can call moves without paid indicators. I do want to make that clear. Just because I use paid indicators doesn't mean that it's a necessity, right? Obviously, if you want to do the same analysis, it's a necessity because you have to use the same indicator. But extremely, extremely useful and like real key part of my trading. I don't just push this because we have a discount code. I push this because I use it every single day. I've been using Market Cipher for years. I've been using Market Cipher for a long time, for years before I had my YouTube channel. So keep that in mind. So there you go. All right, let's see. Shout out to Flame said, time difference, bro, is the main issue, but I do watch the live stream later and other uploaded videos. It's about 4 a.m. here. Frankie Candles for airdrops too. Yo, shout out to Flame. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you watching the content even at 4 a.m. Get to bed, bro, or maybe get up. I don't know. Shout out to you, man, though. We appreciate you so much. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. So we took a look at Cardano. Let's take a quick look at Link or Link, as some people call it. I don't think anyone calls it Link, but let's take a look here. So Link, just respecting the volume profile. God, Link, this has just been a bore fest, right? Like same thing every day. Deviation above the range. This is an overvalued asset. This is where you want to look for potential shorts back into the range. If you get accepted, go back to the POC, back to the value area low. Deviation from the low. Everybody's calling for zero, but you're looking for longs because you're smarter than that, and you are looking at the TA, right? You're looking for longs to get back into the value area low, go to the POC, and then back to the high. Back to the POC, back to the high. Deviation, back into the range. Where'd you go? Right back to that POC. So right now, very simply put, key level to break above for Link is going to be 1170. Get above 1170. You're then kind of in no man's land between both of these volume profiles. But at least if you could break out here, that's where you're looking for a flip of this value area low, which is technically going to be the doorway to 1471. So get above that value area low, hold it as support. That's where you can look for the move back up to the POC. And then, flip that POC, look for the move up to 1773 at the value area high. But for the most part, not for me, not necessarily the place where I like to long, right into resistance here. I would have to wait for a little bit more of a pullback. But I will say, guys, a lot of these altcoins, I'm not saying that altcoins are just randomly going to moon just because this is happening. But I will say, this money flow crossover, the money flow crossover into the green with the daily green dot is oftentimes a nice sign for a continuation up. And, it is possible. Sometimes when you break out of a volume profile, you will come back down to test the POC before the real breakout. But again, this is heavily, heavily dependent on what Bitcoin does. So again, I'm not just FOMO longing all the altcoins right now, but I will say these dailies actually do look pretty good. And, if we were looking for a breakout of this lower range, people always tell me, I get the volume profiles, Frankie. I've been making money trading them. I've been watching your live streams. I've been watching the videos. I've been looking at the volume profiles, looking for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. But how do I know whether price is going to be a fake out back into the range or a legitimate breakout, because you're not going to range around forever. Eventually you're going to break out or you're going to break down. And, one of the easy ways to look for this is to look for money flow. If you have money flow in the red as you're in the range and it comes up towards your approach to the high and you get that money flow crossover as you're approaching the end of the range, sometimes that could point to a breakout. Not a guarantee, right? But that is sometimes how you can identify that. But for the most part, if you're trading these ranges as I do, where we look for longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, whether you break up or down, you're oftentimes in a position from the opposite end of the range, right? Because if you were looking for longs down here at the value area low, sure, you could have looked to take profit here, but if you hold a portion of that trade with your stop loss at break even or even in profit, oftentimes, if you do get a breakout out of that range, you're going to be holding a portion of that long from the low. Same thing if you break down to the downside. You might come up, deviate above the high, and then get the breakdown out. But if you were looking for shorts up here, you're going to be short from the top to some capacity, whether you're holding the whole trade or just a portion of it. You don't want to look for those grand slam trades. Singles and doubles will make you a millionaire. Going for grand slams and home runs only will make you go broke. They will blow up every account you've ever had. Trust me, I know that. It's much harder to keep the discipline to lock in small wins over time. This is much harder to do than to keep longing and shorting and trying to catch those big moves. Because once in a while, when you do catch them, it's like a drug, right? It's like you hit that and you're like, oh my God, I just hit a big trade. Then you're just going to be chasing that big trade every time, rather than doing the more reliable strategy, which would be capitalizing on small moves, looking along the low into the high, take the profits. If you want to hold a portion of it, at least move your stop loss. So it's a guaranteed winning trade. It's the only way you could guarantee a winning trade. Look for a short, small win, right? So small win, small win, small win. Maybe you get stopped out, small loss, right? Or break even or stopped out in profit, right? And then you get a small win and then you get stopped out in profit. Eventually, one of these is going to go, right? And you're going to get it to break out of the range and you're going to get the big move to come in. But you have to let that stuff hit you by surprise, in my personal opinion, right? Doesn't mean you can't load up on a bigger position if you think you're coming down to a big key level, but just don't go for these random, just long-term high swing. Like singles and doubles will make you a millionaire. Going for grand slams will make you go broke. Just keep that in mind. All right, let's see. Yeah, shout out to Fabian. What if we don't have money flow? How can we spot the breakout? It's a little harder. I mean, anytime you break out of a range, you would really want to see a big uptick in volume, right? You don't want to see it's hard. A lot of the things that I use to try to figure out if we're going to get a real breakout or if we are just going to just come up and then rotate back into the range, it has to do with my order flow confirmations, right? Like I like to see absorption. There's a lot of things that I look at. But it is, money flow is probably the easiest way to do it, in my opinion. So there you go. Okay, let's take a look here. Shout out to Goldavelli. He said, I felt like he was speaking directly to me. Shout out to Goldavelli. Now I am speaking directly to you. I'm even looking at you, bro. Shout out to you. But let's see. Yeah, divergence. Yeah, that's another thing too, right? For me, right, I'm not just shorting on a deviation, 100%. Shout out to Fabian. Pat yourself on the back, bro. And because you just figure that out on your own. So when you deviate above a range, right, like I'm not just shorting because we came above it, right? You have to find the entry triggers. Now, entry triggers can be a little bit tricky. You don't just want to short a bearish divergence because it's a bearish divergence and you think you're going to go to zero. There's a lot of confluence. There's multiple signals, multiple entry triggers that I like to look for. But yes, that could be something, right? Like, because if you deviate below a range and you get bullish, even here, right? You deviate below the range, but you're also putting in lower lows on your price action, and you're also putting in higher lows on your momentum waves. This is a bullish divergence, so this could maybe make you think, hey, we could just fake out here. If we get back above this value area low, I'm going to be looking to go to the POC. Now, money, in the context of the daily, money flow is in the red, so you might have not expected a full rotation of the range. So there is a lot of intricacies to it, but absolutely, right? Like a bullish divergence with lower lows, higher lows on your momentum waves, this could indicate a fake out of the range for sure. But it's not just a guarantee. Like you could see a bullish divergence here, and you could easily just come back in and then back down, right? You reject the value area low and come back down. It has trading is a complicated thing. It's not just like one signal, make a ton of money, but you could just go back test that, right? Like every time you break out of a range, if you see bearish divergences, higher highs on your price action to the upside, lower highs on your momentum waves, price is going up, but momentum is leaving. That makes no sense. That's your discrepancy on price action and your oscillator. That's where you look for the move back down. What happens? You come back down, you bounce, money flow starts leaving, get stuck in your range, back to the PLC, back to the value area low. And that's how I trade the volume profiles. And the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator is built to kind of help you guys with this, right? Pull up Frankie Candles Essentials right here. Buy Lux Algo. Shout out to Lux Algo. This is completely free. No email, no nothing. No strings attached. Google it. Google my name, or search my name, not Google it. Search, I guess you could Google it, but search my name in TradingView. Pull this indicator up, and this is what you get. No strings attached. You could get this right on your chart right now and follow along. What happens? You deviate above the range. You start getting these lines, right, showing you that you have bearish divergences, bearish signals outside of your volume profile. Sauce cans printing, letting you know those confirmations are happening outside the volume profile. This is your signal. Or don't trade this as a buy or sell indicator, but this is letting you know, hey, bearish signals, I'm getting the sauce cans, could be a potential reversal. Value area high is key support until proven otherwise. Back into the range, back to the low. What happens here? Lower lows on your price action, into your key level of support, higher lows on your momentum waves. There's your bullish divergences. If you don't have an oscillator, if you're not looking at Market Cipher B or whatever, you can use many different indicators to look for divergences, but the Frankie Candles Essentials will pop it up for you. You're getting the bullish divergences marked out with the sauce can here, letting you know what's happening outside the value area. That's typically where I'm looking for longs, back to the PLC, back to the high, right? But it's not an end-all, be-all indicator. You can't just see a sauce can and short and make a bunch of money. You have to understand the context of the market is the most important thing. But this is definitely helpful. And I would recommend, like even here, but this was the example we were just looking at, right? You deviate below the low, you get the divergence, the sauce can, you do get the move up, but because of the context, money flows in the red, you didn't go all the way back up to the high. So it's not that easy. Context is king, but it did call for that fake out back into the range. POC is always that first major take profit or that first major level that you're looking to go to after you come back into the range. This is your biggest level of resistance, the strongest magnet within the profile. So there you go. Dropping that sauce. Dropping that sauce for the Mafia. Let's get it. Hey, shout out to All Set. I appreciate that super chat, bro. He said facts 100. Preach it, brother. Shout out to All Set. Let's go. I love that we can like these super chats now. Shout out to you, man. And shout out to All Set for gifting the Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Fabian. Shout out to Rockstar Cola. Shout out to DZ's Peanuts. And shout out to Blair and Psychedelic Astronaut. You guys just got memberships, free memberships. Drop a thank you in the chat for All Set. I appreciate you so much for doing that, bro. Thank you. You're the man. But let's go ahead and continue on. Let's take a look. We took a look at Link. We took a look at ADA. Let's take a quick look at Solana. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is simply doing the same thing that we have been looking at forever. Just still within our macro range here. To me, the volume profile would call, potentially, for a pullback to the value area low. That is simply based off the volume profile. But the nice thing here, right, you go, again, from the high to the PLC to the low, below the low, back to the PLC and the high, reject the high, back to the PLC, back to the high, get rejected again, PLC, low, deviation. You did have bullish divergences on the lower time frames, hold the value area low support, back to the PLC, flip the PLC, back to the value area high. So technically, I would prefer or favor a move below the PLC if we get rejected below that PLC and can't get back above. I love a move, just like on Ethereum. I'd love a move back down to the value area low. But I don't know. At some point, we're not going to get the full rotation and we're just going to break out. It's hard to say if this is the point. Fresh green dot on the daily. Money flow on the daily is in the green, but it is kind of flat here. Hard to take away from that. Locally, I do think very similar to Bitcoin. 6-hour red dot. I do think there's some turbulence to be had here. But your POC at 143.77 is the key level to remain above. If you get rejected below this, look for the daily at $131 and then your daily value area low closer to about $123. I would prefer a move down here before fresh longs to the upside, but please know that does not mean that you can't just put in a local higher low here and continue to the upside. This does not mean that you can't just, understand that, right? You have to lose the POC and you have to come back down, right? Or you at least have to lose the POC and get stuck under it, right? And oftentimes those POCs act as magnets, and you can see, right? Like we kind of dip below, back above, back below, and then you go to the high. So hard to call here, to be honest. But, VWAPs on the higher hourly time frames coming to the downside. So if these red dots print, I do think there's a chance to come down here, at least to the daily at $131 if you lose the POC. But again, if not, looking for the low. And that's kind of the roadmap that I would be looking at for Solana. Other than that, The daily is the bullish case here on the altcoins, to be honest. But again, very, very, very reliant on what Bitcoin is going to do. And word to the TA, guys. Word to the TA. All-time highs, all-time highs. Probably going to get the pullback. TA plays out once again. I'm just kidding. It doesn't mean we're going to zero, but we are getting the pullback here, so that is nice to see. All right, let's see. Shout out to Emery, said, yeah, Emery, there are tutorials on just about everything I look at here on the live stream. Entry triggers, confirmations on to get into trades. We have videos on that. There's many different strategies. We have strategy videos on the channel. Tons and tons of stuff here. You got to look through the channel here. I teach a lot of the entry triggers and confirmations I look at to actually get into the trades. We teach that in the premium Discord, but that does not mean that you cannot learn a lot of this on your own on this YouTube channel for free. But yeah, we have tons of those videos, divergence videos. We got all over the place, all on the YouTube channel. So check it all out. Shout out to Dark Crash. We all need to be celebrating Rob's birthday. Let's go. Shout out to Rob, the crypto snob. Let's go. We dumping BTC. Let's go. Hey guys, the TA. I mean, it's me, guys. I'm the only one. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. Yeah, the alts are strong. I will say, like, the dailies are the bullish case on the altcoins, to be quite honest. VW John said we don't look at Bitcoin here. Shout out to VW John. Yes. Joel says Frankie's sauce chart. Yeah, the Frankie Candles Essentials has automatic Fibonacci videos. Automatic Fibonacci retracements. Auto-populating fibs as well. So yeah, check that out. We have a video on it. I think they dropped the. I think the mods dropped the link. All right, let's see. Respect the TA. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let's see here. Link. So, Mrs. Candles. Come on in here, Mrs. Candles. Come on in. Come on over here. No, it's okay. Come on over here. Come on. You're good. It's okay. I'm kidding, guys. It's a joke. It's a joke. She's laughing. Let's see a little bit of the hand. Show. Oh. Woo! Oh, baby. Oh, it smells like lotion. It smells like lotion. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Drop those Mrs. Candles hands in the chat if you have a membership. Let's go. But let's take a look here at Sui. We'll take a quick look at Sui. We can take a look at Caspa as well. Taking a quick look at Sui. Sui. Let's see. Is it Sui or is it Sui? I feel like Sui. Some people say Sui. I feel like Sui would be SWI. Sui would be SUI, right? How would you guys say it? Let me know in the chat. How do you guys say Sui? Is it SEWWY, Sui, or is it Sui, SWI? Let me know. There's the Mrs. Candles Mrs. Candles hands. Let's go. Okay, so take a look at Sui. I'm actually going to look at the live stream chart here for Sui because this is the chart that we've been looking at time and time again. And here we are, Sui, looking strong. This thing has a mind of its own. Just absolutely scooting to the upside here, guys. And is that the all-time high taken? Oh, just about. Almost all-time high. But as you guys know, this was, weekly naked point of control gave you a little bit of turbulence here. This is something we looked at on the live stream, I believe, on Thursday, maybe Wednesday. I mean, last time we looked at Sui, looking at that weekly naked point of control, giving you the little pullback here, but pushing up strong, looking for that breakout on Sui. And we even looked at the next likely targets for Sui if you do get the breakout here. Now, obviously, the all-time high is kind of the only level that you have in your way on Sui to break out of, and you are tapping that level right now. So if you break out here and Sui goes into discovery, 258 could be the next big target. I will draw this box right now. Now, I'm not saying you're guaranteed to get up here just yet, but if you break out, if this thing goes into price discovery, this is likely going to be the next target between 258 and 289. If it really shoots, 324, all the way up to 324. These would be like the next three price targets I would be looking at on Sui if you continue up. Now, again, I would be careful, right? I'm not just saying this is instantly going to moon. Not that it can't. I mean, this thing's just unstoppable recently. And shout out to anybody who's been watching this live stream all the way back in September, looking at this money flow crossover into the green back on September 6th, looking at that as a potentially big bullish catalyst to see SUI absolutely rip up through this volume profile based off the last money flow crossover into the green on the daily. We had the crossover here. It was a massive move up, and we were saying, hey, the last money flow crossover into the green that we had was all the way back here in November of 2023 before getting the big move up. This one could potentially be the next big pump, right? And, seeing this pump SUI about 300%, we were kind of forecasting a 300% pump. And if you get that 300% pump, 275 brings you up to the 324 level. Could be, they just kind of lined up with that technical Fibonacci extension. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. So we'll see. These volume profiles are absolutely goated, guys. With money flow, all this stuff kind of combined together is absolutely overpowered. So that's what we're looking at for the upside. However, I'd be careful, right? Because if you start putting in bearish divergences here, I'm not going to lie. Money flow looks pretty good. Daily money flow looking strong. 2-day money flow, ooh, baby, this does not look bad. I'm not lying, guys. Some of these alts, man, 2-day money flow crossover into the green. Looking to happen here, or it is already starting. You can see it right here. Kind of bing-bonging around. Let's get that in the green. Could be higher prices for SUI. Could this be foreshadowing? Could this be foreshadowing all these other altcoins? Potentially. ETH crossing into the green on the daily, right? If we see that do something similar, right? Like big move up, right? Can we see that on a lot of this other stuff? Celestia is another coin that I've been looking at that it does not look too shabby. Green dot looking to print on the 2-day. 2-day money flow starting to work its way up. But if that daily money flow stays in the green, we could see this continue up. But yeah, on SUI, that's going to be the next level that I'm looking at, right? But be careful. If you get these bearish divergences as you deviate above this range, if it's not going to be off to the races for like right now, could look for those big bearish divergences on the daily time frame. Even the higher hourlies will probably print first. Lower highs on your momentum waves, higher highs on your price action into the key all-time high, acceptance back into the range, potentially back down to the low. That's your bearish case. So just be careful. This is like too late to long, in my opinion. I would not be longing this. Doesn't mean it can't come up, but I do not long here. I have to wait for a pullback of some kind. So there you go. That's what we're looking at on SUI. BTC, getting the push down, baby. Getting the push down. You heard it here first, guys. Everybody gets bullish. Frankie Candle's the only one looking for the pullback here. I'm just kidding. I don't know if anyone else is looking for a pullback. But it just feels like, it's like you just see a lot of like TikTok, Twitter, even YouTube. It's just like 75K incoming because people see the prices going up. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. Let's go. Shout out to Bitcoin. Getting the pullback. Bitcoin goes to zero when we speak about SUI. Wake up. Shout out to Isnar or Liznar. I'm not sure if that's an L or an I. But shout out to you, bro. All right. Yeah, shout out to JFO. Called it early, baby. Called it early. Shout out to the Premium Discord. Premium Discord's been looking for this pullback with the short setup. See, when did we post that? Yeah. All the way since October 2nd. And I think even before that, potentially. Been looking for that short setup since the 2nd of October. Since before we even got the move up there. That is what we do in the Premium Discord, guys. We call for the moves before they happen, talk about what we're looking at for the move, and then hopefully we get it to play out. That's what we're looking for. TA for the win, baby. Let's go. Let's go into the moon. I'm just kidding, guys. All right, let's see. Shout out to L Jones. Said, I always mark out the perfect... I always mark out such perfect levels and then don't take the trade. Shout out to L Jones. Hey, no rush, brother. No rush. There's always going to be another trade. If you're getting good at the TA, you're getting good at finding those key levels. Taking the trade is a lot of the work, right? That's a lot of the risk. It's a lot of the that's it. You're a wizard, Harry. Shout out to Golden Valley. Shout out to Alexandra G. What is going on? Welcome in. Let's see. Tony D said, last I checked, he went back to Italy. Shout out to Golden. Yeah, shout out to Golden. I think he's talking about Golden. Golden's out there living his best life. Let's go. Shout out to Lucky Jimbo. Hey. He says 57K incoming. Bro, rejected from POC. Down we go to the value area low. Hey, someone's been paying attention. Let's get it. Shout out to Jimbo. Who was that? Was it Jimbo? Lucky Jimbo. Let's go. That's what we're talking about, baby. And again, not necessarily, that would be the thought. That's the thought. Not necessarily like enough to call for it at this moment, But I will say, rejected that value area high. Level was given on Friday, guys. Level was given on Friday. Let's go. Let's see. You saved my week, bro. Shout out to Ahmed. Let's go. Yeah. There it is. TA playing out beautifully. All right, let's go ahead and check out. What was the one? Everybody's asking for. What was it? Caspa. Everyone's asking for Caspa. Let's take a look. That's market cap. Is it? Yeah. No. Let's pull up the KuCoin chart. Actually, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not going to lie. Smash that like button, guys. Imagine we see the dump down to 58K right now, live. Smash that like button if you find any value in this, guys. If you guys have learned anything or seen something play out that we looked at, smash that like button. Yo, shout out to Rockstar Cola said up 2K. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Where's the money at? We're throwing some money here for the Mafia. The Mafia's in the green. Not just FOMO longing at all-time highs. Bitcoin's pumping. It's bullish. Shout out to Rockstar Cola says up 2K in a week while on vacation, making 200 to 1K per trade. This channel teaches you to fish, this channel teaches you to fish, baby. Thanks, Frank. Hashtag Master Chef Sauce. Yo, shout out to Rockstar Cola. I am pitting that, bro. I literally have goosebumps right now. This is why we do what we do here. And we're going to throw some money for you, bro. We're going to throw a couple hundreds for you, or a few hundreds. Let's throw them for you, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Rockstar Cola. Shout out to Ahmed. Shout out to everybody out there making money. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Let's get it. That was not enough. That was not enough. Let's go. Come on, baby. Let's go. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. That's what I like to hear, guys. I care more about you guys making money than me making money. I mean, I'm making money too, but it's really trading after a while. It's just part of the job. It's like you make the money. It's like, cool. And it stops getting exciting after a certain point, but it's you guys. It's seeing you guys win. That is like the new energy. It's the new fuel that keeps me going here. I win a trade. It's like, whatever. It's, whatever. It's cool, man. Just another day at work, right? But when I see you guys winning, that is truly what makes me feel fulfilled here. So here we are. Let's take a look here at Caspa. I'm trying to find the Caspa chart that we've been looking at, but I don't know if we have a running chart on Caspa. Maybe we don't. Well, I mean, hey. Whoops. So, yeah, I mean, we had this local volume profile. And what happened? Pretty good example of, let's pull up the 4 hour, see what that looked like. Yeah, pretty good example here of a deviation above your high, right? Get the deviation below the low, bullish divergences, move back into the range, flip that value area low to support, back up to the POC, back to the high, deviation above the high. This is where you want to look for shorts, right? As long as they're there. You have to wait for the confirmations. But what happens if you're able to catch those short confirmations, back into the range? You even went back to the value area high for a second, but money flow coming into the red could have been signaling the breakdown here. Potentially. But for the most part, let me actually, whoops. Oh, God, what did I just delete? I just took something off the chart. Whatever. Let me go ahead and let me get rid of this TA, and we'll just kind of break things down. Let's see. I mean, Caspa, man. Shout out to Caspa. This was also in the dining room. We caught Caspa sub 1 penny. Believe in Feb. Yeah, I believe, when did we, I don't remember. But shout out to the dining room. If you guys are signed up with any of our affiliate links, don't forget, you get free access to the dining room in the Discord, where we have a bunch of premium sauce here. You get premium TA posts. Premium TA posts here. A lot of times they are trade setups if you guys are interested. And if you're already signed up, you might as well get it. It's free. Just come on to Unlock Access, pick the exchange that you signed up with, click the button, type in your user ID from the exchange, and then hit submit, and then we will get you in there in a couple of days. Just come read this. It'll tell you how to get in. You get altcoin alpha as well. Tons of altcoin sauce in here as well. Premium TA, general chat, special giveaways, token metrics posts, tons of free sauce in here as well. So there you go. But either way, yeah, we called Caspa in the dining room a long time ago, way early. I believe it was February. Yeah, I believe it was somewhere in here, 0.003, I want to say. Maybe it was before that. Maybe it was, I don't know. .003. I mean, you guys can go back and look at it. But, yeah, that wound up being a beautiful, beautiful move. But let's take a look here. Let's pull our volume profiles, see what we're working with. So, yeah, I mean, you broke out of your range. I mean, this is pretty generic as far as the volume profiles go. Go ahead and neutral. Whoops. Value area high, POC, value area low. Let's pull up the VPVR as well. So, yeah, I mean, you're hitting this macro high volume node. Your overall profile of all this price action, like ever since you broke above, 10 cents here, you have this nice kind of range formed. Next major level, I mean, maybe you fill this wick down to about, 0.124. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Kind of hard to say. But if you lose the level we're at right now, probably going to be a quick drop down to, near that level. Start losing that. At that point, your next massive level is going to be down at about 10 cents. I don't know if I'm calling for that kind of dump just yet. 2-day money flow in the red. I mean, I'll be honest, this actually does look pretty bearish. This actually looks a lot different than a lot of the other altcoins. Not all altcoins are necessarily created equal here, guys. I'm all about equality, but, I mean, hey, when it comes to altcoins, yeah, you lose that POC, could be a move. Yeah, 10 cents. There is confluence there, 10 cents. And to be quite honest, I mean, who knows? The rest of the market just rips. You could see that fake out, but 2-day money flow in the red, 3-day money flow crossing into the red, that actually doesn't look that great. So, yeah, I'll give you some local levels before you go to zero here. But we already kind of got the test of that 7. So, yeah, 786 sitting at 1240, 0.1240. Lose this POC that we're at right now. Look down to the 786. If you can hold that 786, you could potentially be on your way down to 10 cents just for a full rotation of the profile, right? Again, longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, right? Deviate above the high, back into the range, potentially back down to the low. Simple volume profile stuff. So that's what I would look at. That 2-day does not look that great, though. This money flow crossover stays in the red. That is where you're looking for the continuation of the trend to the downside. Doesn't mean you can't bounce, but you're going to look for lackluster pumps to continue the dumps. Lackluster pump, continue the dump. As long as that money flows in the red, that's your bias, right? Once money flow starts coming back up, which if that were to happen at the value area low, that's where you could start looking for continuations to the upside, right? Very simply put. Market cipher money flow is a beautiful thing to use as a filter, whether you should be long or short. So there you go. All right, let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Goldavelli. He said, best subscription I have. It's life-changing. Shout out to Goldavelli. I don't know if you're talking about Market Cipher. Oh, no. He said, if anybody wants the real sauce, join us in the premium. The kitchen is a great community. Shout out to Gold. Oh, so you're talking about the kitchen. Let's go. Talk about the premium Discord. Shout out. If you guys want to check it out, it is one of the cheaper premium Discords out there, I do believe. You can check it out, frankiecandlestrading.com. You can check that out there or link in the description down below. Shout out to the Godfather, said shorted Bitcoin on Frankie's TA, took already 80% profit. Thanks, buddy. Yo, what is going on? Everybody just got in profit. Let's go. Shout out to the Godfather. Let's get it. Unbelievable. Let's see. Shout out to Ahmed, said, I'm in the free Discord. I will join premium one day. It's a bit expensive for me right now. Shout out to Ahmed. No worries, bro. The free Discord is also an extremely, extremely valuable place to be. Being around other people, trading the same thing as you are, that's still a very valuable thing. Get in the free Discord if you can't get into the premium, get into the free Discord. Tons of sauce in there as well. We have a lot of really good traders out there, a lot of good CandleMafia members, super willing to help new people. And one of the biggest mistakes I made here, guys, in my trading career was not getting in communities. I tried to learn everything on my own rather than getting around other people who were doing the same thing as me. I would have saved myself a ton of headaches, right? People, if I just had one person to tell me, like, listen, man, you're not going to find the golden strategy. There's nothing that's going to make it 100% play out, right? There's no 100% strategy. If I had anyone to teach me any of that stuff, just, save me time by learning from other people's mistakes. That's the biggest mistake I made, was not getting in other Discords. Or I don't even know how popular crypto trading Discords were when I got into trading. But, communities like this, I wish I had this when I was learning. So, yeah, get in the free one if you guys are interested. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. King of DGen said, I will get the premium Discord right now. You sold me, bro. Shout out to King of DGen. And one thing I do want to say, guys, it is not a signals group. You know, I just brought it up, right? It is not a, honestly, if you want to get a taste, this is basically like a free trial in the premium Discord. Get into the dining room. Unlock access. If you use one of our exchange affiliates, you will get in this. You'll get access to all of these exclusive channels for free. Exclusive chat, token metrics, giveaways, content requests, announcements. That's basically the same in everything. But the premium TA, like this is where we share one premium TA post per week. It is not always a trade setup, but oftentimes it is a trade setup. And you guys can kind of just check this out. It's basically like a free trial because it costs you no money. If you're already signed up with our exchange affiliate, you just get this for free. So, yeah, and you could kind of get an idea of what we do. I do not give signals. I do not tell you when to buy or sell. That is not going to make you a profitable trader. It's going to make you lose money over time. That's not how trading works. I've tried signals groups back in the day, right? And sure, you could get lucky once in a while. I just don't think it's a sustainable way to learn how to trade. You might get lucky once in a while. Oh, this one played out. But what you really want to do, this is more an educational Discord, right? I show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. Hey, I think we can come up here. We have a lot of liquidation sitting up here, so if we can creep up. By the way, this is leading up to 64K. This is part of the reason we expected the push up to where we got to, right? And I kind of just like walk you guys through the actual trades, right? I'd walk you through what I look for confirmations. I put the setups here before they actually play out, right? I'll say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. If we come up here and I see these confirmations, that's where I'm looking for shorts. That's where I'm looking for longs. You can see we make money here. We don't win every single trade. The short here from 66,350 was put in the Discord I think a week before we hit the price, or at least days before we hit the price. And I tell you guys exactly what I'm looking for. So it's not a signals group. You're not going to get a notification on your phone that says sell now, buy now. There's no, that's not what it is. I'm here to teach you and show you what I'm doing. And you get the trade setups, but it's not a signals group. So just keep that in mind. But just to kind of, I don't want to brag here. I don't do this to brag. I just kind of show you guys the last long position from this low. We have now just rejected this high. Final TP smashed. Now we're getting the rejection. We also had the short setup from that exact level, right? So if you're looking to trade these markets, get in here. But again, if you're not ready, if you're new to TA, you're not ready to take your trading to the next level, that's totally fine. Get in the free Discord. Learn from the YouTube channel for free. I'm not here to sell you a product you do not need. I don't want you in the premium Discord if you are not ready, right? So I don't want, we thought about putting a kind of a barrier to entry to get into the Discord, because I don't want people coming in there thinking they're just going to get buy and sell signals. That is not what it is. I'm fully transparent. I don't want to sell people something that, I'm not going to tell you it's something that it's not. That's why I just show you. Be completely transparent and honest. But it is definitely a life-changing community. Like, the feedback we get is absolutely amazing. So shout out to you guys. I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We took a look at the altcoins. We took a look at Bitcoin. We'll see if that pullback continues. But remember, not super bearish in the long term. Just looking for a potential move down to a little bit lower to maybe find some new long positions. But yeah, the TA's been absolutely slapping lately, guys. So go hit the charts. Get your levels marked out, and come up with your own trading plan and see if your trading plan plays out, even if it's different than mine. We are traders here. Nothing is promised. Manage your risk, set your stop loss, and don't get wrecked. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Shout out to the Mafia. Shout out to the Godfather. Shout out to Boom Select. Shout out to Boom Select's 100% strategy is just hodl and sell higher to higher prices. Absolutely. Shout out to you, bro. Gary Stressel. Shout out to VW John. Shout out to Da Boots. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Da Boots that just joined. Though I felt the lack of interaction too frequent in the free Discord. Great that you have one, though. Keep up the great TA. Shout out to you, man. Welcome to the premium. Shout out to Jay Violet. Pop E 2022. Pop E 22. Shout out to Ahmed. Shout out to Peter. And thank you guys so much for being here. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in and sticking around till the end of the stream. Smash that like button on your way out. And remember, guys, tons of free sauce here. Go watch the YouTube videos. They cost nothing. Put in the time. Put in the work. Learn the TA. Practice, fail, practice, fail, practice, fail, practice, fail. Then succeed. Make a ton of money. Nah, I don't know. No promises. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Had up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I should probably stop drinking black coffee this late at night, guys. I'll see you next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it